The Executive Director at the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, Professor Peter Korte, has cautioned government to relook its over-ambitious growth projection target on e-levy from 591 million Ghana cedis in 2022 to 2.53 billion Ghana cedis in 2023. He said these are the 2023 budget statement review in Accra.
The 2023 budget was presented by the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, and approved after days of debate between the majority and minority over issues of new taxes and other economic policies. Speaking on the 2023 budget statement review, the director at the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, Professor Peter Korte, called on the government to cut down its expenditure.
27.3% of our expenditure, government spending, is towards interest payments. It means we spend more on interest payments than we spend on wages and salaries, and that is not sustainable. That shouldn't happen. Interest as a proportion of domestic revenue, you add compensation and add statutory payments, there's no space for capital expenditure. But we need capital expenditure, we need to invest. Capital expenditure is basically our investment. So if you don't invest, then we are not likely to grow and provide the needed employment. In fact, 78% of our financing had come this year, had come from domestic sources.
He reiterated the Institute's position for a total scrap of the e-levy
system. Recently, I learned something. I was trying to send money to my mechanic to buy spare parts. I said, no, it's quite substantial. I will pay e-levy. He said, oh no, let me talk to the agent. We'll do cash out. So he talked to me and said, okay, yes, send it. So I sent it. Then they did cash out. So no e-levy. You see, people are smart. When you introduce something that has substitutes, if you introduce something and the price is punitive, they will find a way of avoiding the tax. If it's very small, then people might pay, they'll grumble, but they will pay. So unless we check this cash out system, we are likely not to realize the revenue that we are investing.
Professor Peter Korte admonished the government to be prudent in the coming year.
The increase in VAT should also be accompanied with some cost-cutting measures, and that should also go with a reduction in the size of government in order to achieve the desired results. Otherwise, if we increase VAT and do all that, and we don't manage our expenditure, then we are not likely to achieve